Tyler Jackson here at Play Sheet Sports, and I am joined by Independence linebacker Landon Riddle. Landon, I want to thank you for joining me today. Landon, you're a first-team All-Stater last year. You do a lot of different things as a linebacker. The sacks are what really stand out, but you're really you're a functional linebacker, fluid. You're able to move to different spots. But before we kind of get into all that, I want to talk about this upcoming season and the expectations. You guys were a semifinalist for the, I believe, second year. Yeah, second year in a row. You won a state championship your freshman year. Coming into last year, did you feel like that the semifinals was something that was a realistic goal for you, given how young the roster was?
Absolutely. Because coming off our freshman year when we won the state championship, a lot of people really wrote us off, saying that we had lost a lot of seniors, and that which we had lost about 20 seniors coming into my sophomore year. And we really had a lot of change that year, and we ended up going to the semifinals. And so going into my junior year last year, I really thought we had a good shot to go deep into the playoffs and maybe make a shot, because we had a lot of the same guys back from that team, and really just we had put in a lot of work, and Coach Lilly really puts us through a lot.
I've talked with Coach Lilly and Brock about this, but you guys went through so much adversity. Your first two games were delayed hours by weather, and then the Bluefield game was delayed and eventually canceled. And then your first playoff game was delayed because of all the court cases, and then delayed again once it was supposed to be played because of weather. And then the tragedy that you guys faced as a team the week of the Philip Barber game. You guys really went through so much on and off the football field, more than I can recall any team going through. What did you feel like those experiences, how, no matter how bleak they were, how did you feel like they benefited the team?
We for sure grew through those times. Definitely made us a family, I would say so. I don't know if I would say our team was really bonded that well before we went through a lot of adversity last year. So going through that, I would say really bonded our team a lot, and we really look out for each other as if they're our brothers.
Gotcha. Now, I talk a lot about the offense because I feel like there are the triplets on that side of the ball, and Brock and Christian and Silas, and obviously a bunch of really good complementary players, a good offensive line. But man, the defense is really good as well. And they bring back they bring back Conley, and I want to talk about you guys as pass rushers, because it's not easy being a pass rusher, especially in high school football, because you have to earn those pass rush downs. If you're letting teams get into 2nd and 4 and 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, you might not get those opportunities. So talk to me as a defensive player about how you get into those opportunities, because that's one thing. I think one of your best games as a pass rusher last year was the West Side game. I think you had 3 sacks, and a lot of that was because West Side passes the ball a ton anyways, but you put them in a lot of 3rd and long situations. So talk to me about your approach to an offense as a defensive player on those first 2 downs, to be able to get in a position where you can pin your ears back on 3rd down.
Oh, absolutely. So it's just like when you're on offense. When you're on first down, you want to get ahead of the sticks and get ahead of the chains. So when we're on defense, we want to get them behind the sticks. So we want to make a tackle on first down and really force them into throwing the ball on 2nd and 3rd down. And we feel like if we can get them into a 2nd and long, 3rd and long situation, I feel like Isaiah is a top pass rusher in the state. So him coming off the edge and then me getting moved to outside linebacker this year, I'm really excited, looking forward to seeing what we could do together.
Most teams, there may be a weekend to camp, but you guys are so much different because of the way you guys structure your off season. Everything starts, I think, in January or so, and then you move into spring ball, and then you do summer ball. There's really not a ton of time off. It's really planned in the way that you guys are able to do a ton of things to kind of keep things just never really fall out of the flow. What's one thing that's really stood out to you about this team?
I would say our depth on the line. Our depth on the line. So last year, I would say there were 2 or 3 games that I had to play a guard or tackle, and Landon Phelan, our Mike backer, he had to play a guard or tackle on the offensive line. So I'd say we really got 6 or 7 really developed linemen this year that are looking forward to playing some snaps.
So I don't think it's any sort of secret. I mean, I've talked about it, but I think you guys are the best team in Double A, certainly the most talented with everything you bring back. And that's, even comparing it to the rest of the field. My honest expectation is I feel like you guys should be playing on Lately on Saturday, and anything can happen in championship games. But I feel like you come in as the most talented team. How do you manage those expectations and not get caught up in all of it? Because it is so easy, especially at that age, to Coach Lilly calls it rat poison. I'm sure he
Yes,
talks to
sir.
you the same
Oh,
thing.
no doubt.
Yeah, it calls it rat poison. How do you avoid going about and taking that rat poison? Because it's just so easy to hear all the outside noise. Do you feel like the schedule that you guys are playing is going to keep you on track away from thinking too much about that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was gonna say. So for sure, my friends and I, we obviously talk about our expectations for ourselves and for our team. But obviously, it's just taking it week by week. We start next week, next Friday, with a scrimmage against Chapmanville, and we're just looking forward to playing Chapmanville next week, and then taking it week by week, getting prepared for Herbert Hoover on the 28th.
Now, another defensive group I want to talk about is Coach Lilly said all those secondary players return. Talk about what that means to you as a guy that really gets to pin his ears back in pass rush, having that it's like, all right, I know that these guys are going to cover for that extra half second if I can't get home on my first move.
Oh, no doubt. Our whole secondary is seniors this year, from left corner to right corner to both our safeties are seniors. So it's really a confidence boost to play when you have great corners and safeties that you know are going to make a play and really give it their all. So just having that experience in the secondary should really help us next season.
Gotcha. And I don't know if you want to divulge too much into this, but most guys that pass rush a ton, they have a pass rush plan, something that they want to do, different counters or anything like that. Do you have that going in? And how much of it can you share with us? Do you kind of break down who your matchup might be in different situations based on how they played throughout the week is? It's like, okay, like I feel like I can get this tackle this way, or I can slip in between the guard this way, or I can get off the edge this way. What of that information can you divulge? Because I know you don't want to give the competition too much of a heads up.
Um, I would say really just looking at film throughout the week and seeing. So if I see a big tackle, I'm knowing I'm wanting to get my hands off them and get around them, use my speed on a bigger tackle. Or maybe if I see a smaller guard that might be a little skinnier, I know I'm going to want to get my hands on them and really use my physicality and try and get off the block.
Absolutely. Well, Landon, I appreciate you taking the time to join me today. Always a pleasure. Best
Yes,
of luck
sir.
this season.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.